Hello, my friends. Let's get back with another tie-in session for you. Today I'm going to do a little lemon lime crappie jig here. And we're going to start it out with this 1/8 ounce big eye head. Now you see I've got this little keeper on here that I do not want to have. So I am going to kind of bend it back and then bend it flat so that it's not in our way. Let's do that, and sometimes I have to take this out of the vise to get it to happen, but looks like we'll be okay this time. So right now I've got some bright yellow 210 denier thread, and let's go ahead and put a tiny bit of super glue on here just to kind of keep everything solid. And I'm just going to wrap my way around here. Looks like this is kind of twisting on me here a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to wrap down just about to where the point of the hook is. I want to get good solid wraps, especially down below here where it's going to be a little more slippery from the hook here. So now I've got that wrapped, go ahead and cut that off. Now for the tail, what I'm going to use is I have some bucktail here, and I'm just going to kind of get a little clump of bucktail here. Nothing big. I'm going to put it together here, just kind of pull it apart and do that. And I'll tell you what, somewhere around here, I have some more bucktail, and I think I have some bright green, so yes I do. So let me get a little bit of that as well, and I am going to actually mix them together in this, just to be a little more interesting. So got this bright green bucktail. So let's go ahead and cut a little piece of that. And I don't know that this is gonna make that huge of a difference, but heck, why not? You only live once, might as well try weird stuff, right? So I'm gonna take these both in my hand, got the green and the yellow, and I'm just gonna kind of roll them around because I want them to be mixed up in here. I want it to be kind of a lemon limey thing. So you can kind of see right there, and take these longer ones and kind of mix them back in. And then I'm gonna trim off this end here so it's more even. Basically, I want to have just a little bit of the tail hanging off, about, a little over half the hook shank. So I'm going to tie this in, and let me make sure this gets on here really good and tight. And then I'm going to trim away all this excess that does not belong on my jig. Okay, with that, I'm just going to continue to wrap this in, tighten this down, and move it up to here. In crappie jigs, you don't necessarily want a long tail because they will short strike you. So that is a definite possibility of happening. Tell you what, I've got some green flash, but should I use a little, I think maybe I'll use one of these little grizzly saddle hackles here. Let's cut one of those off. And see what I think about that. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll use one on each side. I kind of like that on the side of the bucktail. So we are just winging this. So I'm going to tie this in real fast here. And make sure it's seated where I want it. Let me clip off the other end of the feather here. And then I need to find another one of these that I like, which, that one's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with this one here. And let's do the same thing to the other side. This is gonna be something that they haven't seen before, so I'm just gonna tie that in. I'm just wrapping it around there to keep it in place, and you can see how that's doing. And I'm gonna wrap it all the way up to the head here. Got a little straggler that I want to get rid of right at the head. There we go. Good scissors are definitely something you want to have if you're going to be tying a bunch of jigs here. I'm going to build this up a little bit because I want it to be a pretty even body. Okay, now I got this kind of green sparkly chenille here, and I'm just gonna cut myself a piece of it off. Doesn't take a whole lot, so just got a little piece here, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap that in. Take that back to where it meets, and then come back up to the front. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind this around, keeping it nice and tight and working back towards the head of our jig here. And then I'm going to go behind it, wrap behind it. I need to tighten up my bobbin here. Go behind it a couple times, and then in front of it a couple times, and then I'm gonna clip off the excess here. So right there, you got a pretty good functioning little crappie jig, okay? Not bad, I like it. But you know, I've got some yellow feathers, some yellow hackle feathers just kind of sitting around here. And I think maybe what I wanna do is kind of do a little hackle collar on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a couple of turns. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this little hackle feather in, wrap around it a few times there, and I'm going to hold on to this feather, and I'm just going to rotate it around the collar here. 1, 2, and that third time's good. So then I'm just going to go behind the feather with my thread once and twice, and I'll do it a third time just because, and then I'm going to move in front of it for a wrap, and then I'm just going to clip off the excess of this feather, being sure not to clip any of the thread or the other feather membranes. And then I'm going to pull this back a little bit here. Make a few wraps here. And then I am almost done with this jig. I'm just going to whip finish it. If I can find my whip finish tool. Where are you, whip finish tool? I moved everything around so I could get the camera here, and now I can't find what I'm looking for. There we go. And I'm just gonna do a quick whip finish on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and pull it tight. And that right there is the finished crappie jig. Let me clip this thread. And then the last thing I'm gonna do, just for keeping it solid, is I'll take a little bit of this Loon Outdoors UV finish. I'm just gonna put just a little bit on the collar here, just to kind of keep everything nice and solid. And cure it with my light here. Pull that thread off. There we go. And this only takes a second to cure, so. And there we have it. Let's pull this out and take a look. And there it is, your finished jig. Tell me what you think of it. Think it'll catch fish? I don't know. Let's find out. Leave me a comment down below. As always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you learned something. If nothing else, hopefully you had some fun. So anyway, I hope you have an awesome day. Go catch some fish. Peace.